So a lot of you might be thinking that why can't we make functions inside a class without using these arguments like self and class, and why are we passing in functions like objects and classes into the functions? Why can't we make functions inside the classes as we used to do earlier in a simpler manner? So guys, for that purpose we have got static methods in Python. Now static methods in the OOPS concept is a concept by which you can make the functions in a simpler manner. For example, how we used to make functions without passing any arguments, or we used to pass some special arguments, for example the name, the age, the salary, and we can pass these arguments without the use of self and CLS. Now for that purpose what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make a new Python file right here, and I'll name this Python file as oops7. So I'll name this Python file as oops7, and after that I'll just copy the previous code and I'll paste it inside this Python file. So in my previous video what we basically had done is that we had made an employee class, and after that we had initialized some variables, then I had initialized a constructor, then there was this function named as print salary, then there was this class method, and we had made two class methods basically. So this class method, it basically took a string, and after that it passed that string, that splitted string, with respect to this dash inside the constructor. So I'm just going to remove these comments because I have commented down all of my previous source codes, and I'll remove these comments as well. So I'll remove this, and in today's video I'm going to talk about the static method. Now as you can see right here that in the class method we are passing the CLS, and in this from dash we are passing the CLS as well. Then in the print salary function we are passing self, and inside the constructor also we are passing the self. So if we don't want to pass these kinds of arguments, what we can do is that we can write at the rate static method, and as you can see that my PyCharm ID had given me an suggestion. So after writing the static method, what you have to do is that you have to define a function. So for example, if I want to define a function that prints a statement before we run a function, or for example it just prints a statement, it does a simpler thing. So I can write def, and after that I can write print statement, and then what I can do is that I will pass an argument into it. Now this is a custom argument. I'm not passing CLS or self into it, because in a static method in Python, whenever you call a static method, no argument like self or CLS automatically passes into it. So I'll write an argument right here. I'll write string, and this is a custom argument that I'm passing. It's not CLS nor self. And after that I'll use this string, so I'll write print, and then I'll write this is very good, and I'll just print the string. So I'm just printing a random statement right here that this is very good, and after that I'm just printing the string. So what I can do is that after I made an object of this class, for example as you can see that I've made three instances, emp1, emp2, emp3. So these are the three objects from which I can use this function. So I can write emp3 dot, and after that I'll have to write print statement. So after that I'll have to pass an argument. So I'll provide unch, and if I run this program right here by right clicking on it, as you can see that it has printed this is very good unch, and after that it has printed none. Now guys, why has it printed none? If you have seen my previous videos very clearly and with concentration and focus, you might know why it has printed none. So it has printed none because we are not returning anything from this function, and after that we are just printing the return value. And whenever you do not write the return statement in this function, what happens is that it prints none. So basically print emp3.print statement unch, it basically just prints the return value of this function, and we have to provide a return value. So I will write return, and I will not return anything. So if I run this program again, as you can see that it has printed none. So I can write return, and then I can write return, for example I can write return Rahul, then I can write return Rahul, and when I run this program, as you can see that it will print Rahul. Then for example if I write 89 right here, or 87 or 89, and if I run this program, as you can see that it will print 89. So basically our print function, it just prints the return value of this function. So I will have to remove this return statement, and after that what I can do is that I can remove this print statement. I'll just call the function. So I can write emp3.print statement unch, and when I run this program, as you can see that it won't print the none, and it will just print that this is very good unch. So we are basically just calling the function, we are not printing its return value. Then I can provide, for example, I can provide SID, and if I run this program, as you can see that it will print this is very good SID. And we are basically just using this static method inside this class. And now most of the people, they might be asking that we could have written this function outside the class, and after that we could have used it easily. But guys, for example, if I want this function to work on only certain objects that are related to the employee class, what I can do is that I can define it as a static method inside the class. So this function will only work on the instances of that particular class, and it won't work on some different instances. For example, if we have a class that says class CEO, so this won't work for the CEOs because they are the CEOs. And if, for example, the instances they are related to the employee class, this will definitely work for them. So these are the, so in this way we can define some of the methods inside a class to work on some specific instances, and these are the benefits of using static methods. Now most of the people, they might be telling me that we could have also passed self and CLS inside the function, and we could have used this function easily. But guys, this is the way in which we are optimizing the program. We are optimizing the time of the program as well, because as you can see that we are not using self or CLS inside this function anywhere. And when you don't want to use this function, there's no point in passing it as an argument. So we used to pass CLS as an argument, but in fact we use the CLS, and we also use CLS right here. Then we use the self right here, and after that we use the self inside the constructor. So there is a reason why we are passing the self and CLS as an arguments. But when you don't want to pass them as an arguments, you have to make a static method, so that the code is a bit more optimized, and also that the code looks a bit more fresh. So I hope guys that you understood everything about the static method, its advantages, and how we can define it and how we can use it most importantly. So thank you so much guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you have, please access my Python for Absolute Beginners playlist. The link will be in the description. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. I hope you're safe, and I'll see you next time.